What's up, all exotics, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at caring for geckos, and more so specifically the crested gecko. So what I have here behind me is my newest monstrosity brainstorm. I'm keeping all the crested geckos like this in these salsa tubs with the lids opening up like this. Hi there, little girl. And essentially we're going to be going through why I did this, how I'm doing this, and how I'm caring for my crested geckos in this. So let's go ahead and start with this one over here. So you guys will see this female is a little underweight over here. So I separated all my crested geckos into singular tubs now for themselves so that I can actually monitor their weight, because this is way too skinny. I mean, let me show you guys what I would prefer my crested geckos to look like. This is what I prefer all my crested geckos to look like. Nice and healthy looking. So she's obviously eating like a glutton. Now I had them in colonies of 2 females to 1 male. Now I'm separating them into single geckos in each of their own enclosures. Let's go through a rundown of the enclosures so you guys can see what I did. So I took pool noodles, cut them to size, and just wedged them in there. Took some fake plants that were in their enclosures and put them in there. Then here at the bottom, what I did was I took a little deli cup, filled it with substrate, sawed a hole out of here. And then, yeah, that's going to be like a little humid box. And also, if I do decide to breed them again, then this will double up as their egg boxes. Now, over here at the top, you can see one of the females. Now, contrary to popular belief, crested geckos that don't need heat, they actually do very fine at ambient temperature, especially here where I stay. But this is another beautiful looking female. So what we're going to be doing in this video, we're actually going to be feeding some of them. Now when it comes to crested gecko foods, there are so many foods available. I for one choose to use Hikari's crested gel. The reason why I'm going with Hikari is, these guys freaking basically invented space food, So these guys are so vetted in regards to creating foods that, simulate diets of natural. Man, I'm rambling, but all I'm trying to say is that these guys are just the best of the best. They basically figured out processed food like this. So why not trust someone who has been doing this for decades and who actually has done this for NASA? So again, I'm using Hikari's crested gecko gel, and I must say this stuff is like crack for the cresties. Once they taste it, they don't even want to go back to Pangea. This female looks like she's planning to jump. Now you don't actually have to do what I'm going to be doing now, but like I said, I shifted them all into these single tubs so that I can monitor their weights and monitor their food intake. So I'm going to be just feeding all of them individually. Come on, girl. There you go. So now, like I said, in general, you don't really have to do this because they'll find the food and they'll eat that all by themselves. But just for the first couple of feeds, I just want to do this so that I can monitor food intake and make sure that everyone is actually eating and eating healthily. Because yeah, like I said, some of them really lost weight on me, which I'm not too happy about. All right, so that's good. I'm happy with what she ate. So I'm just going to essentially leave this down there. And as you guys can see, their enclosure is already freshly misted. I do mist them every second day to make sure that hydration levels stay top notch, because no substrate, which would just essentially make it so easy to clean. Aside from using the Hikari, I also do feed insects. I do think it's healthy for them to chase after some feeders and things like that. It's just for this feeding, I want to use the gels. There we go. All right, as long as they all eat like this, then I'm going to be very happy. It might just have been that when they were kept in colonies that they go away, fly. When they were kept in colonies, that they kind of just got too aggressive with each other and chased each other off of the food bowls and things like that. So this is just how I'm going to mitigate it and, make sure that they're all nice and healthy and gain up weight. Because who knows, maybe I do decide to breed them again. But as it stands now, not really keen to breed them. I just enjoy keeping them. Super little cute things. So I would just daily give them about this quantity of Hikari, because as you're going to see a little later in this video, I also do in fact feed insects. So let me just put that back down there. So obviously, every time before feeding, you got to clean out all the old to make sure that they're nice healthy. But see what I mean by how skinny some of these guys are. All right, let's get to this female over here. I'm giving her a little more of a fuller one than the others. There we go. Now that's all I want to see. I want to just see them eating. As long as they're eating, then I'm about as happy as a pig in slop. Mm-hmm. If they lick it all up, then I'm happy. Now, these guys higher up, I do think is going to be pretty difficult to feed and film there at the top. So I'm just going to take them out and feed them here in front of you guys. Now, I know this one really prefers insects above the processed stuff, but I would still like for her to eat some of it. There we go. She's got to kind of coax them into it and trick them and make them think. There we go. All right, let me put her back. Now, when it comes to feeding insects, you really want to give them some soft-shelled stuff that's not too hard-shelled and things like that. All right, moving on to the next female. Now, they really don't have issues when it comes to eating insects. I found it quite easy. Even if they don't want to take them off the tweezers, you can always just chuck them into their enclosures. But like I said, for the sake of me monitoring how much they eat and what they eat, I'm trying to be as hands-on as I possibly could. Looks like that was a nice meal. Maybe while we wait, we can try this female as well. She looks like she's very hungry. There we go. Two girls sitting there right next to each other, enjoying some nice meals. Now, what's really nice about the pool noodles is on the tip of the gecko's tails, not their tails, their toes, they've got kind of the sharpish claw, and they really climb this pool noodle very, very easily. So it makes climbing around and moving around very simple for them. Come on, girl, take a better bite. There we go. And of course, I gutload all my roaches with as much veggies as I possibly could to make sure that my roaches are a really good and nutritious meal. I know a lot of people just use carrots and potato. I don't know why people would use potato. There's not a lot of vitamin storage in potato, just moisture. You missed it. You can kind of see when they get full, they get super lazy on the chow. Give these half-assed bites. You sure you don't want more? Last chance. Come on. Alright, one more time yet. Alright, that's fine. This spray down routine essentially just happens every second day, just to make sure that hydration levels stay optimal and that these guys actually drink, because they won't drink out of a waterfall like most other lizards or geckos. They exclusively drink off of the terrarium side, and well, themselves. So give them all a nice little soak to make sure that the hydration is optimal. Also, paired with keeping them, you want to have adequate ventilation. So I've got all these vent holes at the top and at the bottom, and then the sides of these tubs have vents to them as well. Obviously, just make sure that if you do kind of copycat this, that you make sure that the tubs you're using is still essentially escape proof, because the last thing you want is to end up losing a gecko running around, and you don't want that. Some nice hydration for these guys. Man, I really thoroughly enjoy keeping these crested geckos, and I almost think I want to expand on it a bit more. I'm not sure yet though, because oddly enough, they're really expensive to maintain and keep. Their food is not remotely cheap. Nothing about their food is cheap. Where's this little guy hiding? Ow! Hit my nose. Where's this little guy hiding? Oi! Where you hiding? There you are. Oh, sorry dude. Gave him a fright. And then last of the last over here. There we go. Alright. Alright guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully, this method pans out and it proves very successful and I get good weight on all of my geckos again, because I am a little worried about them, and this is the best way I could think of now to be able to monitor them very strictly. And also, that's not going to cost too much because to go buy a bunch of glass terrariums and things like that, it's expensive. And glass terrariums, in my opinion, they're they're really not worth keeping. They take up way too much space. I mean, look how much space this is taking. It's essentially nothing right across here to my colubrids and everything. So, I'm very happy with it. From On Exotics, you guys know I love you. Peace out.